What is up, YouTube? I'm back again with another video, and today I'm showing you guys everything that I've done to my car within the last year, because on August 21st, 2018, it's already been a year, I purchased my Crown Victoria Police Interceptor. Can't believe I've already had this thing for a year. So yeah, this is my first car. I guess I'll just jump right into everything that I've done to it. Sadly, not as much as I wanted, but you know how stuff gets pushed back. But the most obvious is this baby here, the Go Rhino push bar, which I absolutely love. Even though I realized like a month after I got it put on, it's actually off center. It's not, they didn't put it on correctly. And you guys can kind of see that in the video, where the headliner or where the headlights don't match up. But they only charged me like, I think it was only 150 bucks because we dropped it off in the afternoon and we didn't pick it up till late in the night, and they charged by the hour, so it should have been a lot more. And I guess you know, it was nighttime and it was snowing when we picked it up, so I didn't really notice it. But yeah, it explains why it was so cheap. And then I also had sanded and repainted the rims, but in some areas they're gonna need to be resanded and repainted again. I don't know if I'm gonna get to that this summer. I really want to though. And then I also have center caps, but for some odd reason they don't want to fit on there. So on the inside I got seat covers, Ford logo ones. These are the 3-piece ones. I wish there were the 2-piece. Got the steering wheel cover, got the center console that everybody gets, Ford logo sun visor. Haven't done anything to the radio yet. I wanted to swap it out. Basically there hasn't been much on the inside. I did get a new mirror, but I think they sent me the wrong one. So, because there is a hairline crack in that one, but you'll only notice it at certain angles. I do have another A-pillar cover panel like that has the hole for the spotlight, and it's already wired up for one, so I eventually want to get spotlights on both sides. This is the one that the car came with, and still works. Very, very bright. So yeah, that's pretty much on the inside. Taking a look at the back here, still not much to say. You can see rust forming back on them. And then another thing that I've added was the antenna. That's new. So that came from Crown Vic Auto. You guys have seen that video. Very, very tall. Just screws on. And then another thing that I added was I took off the dealer tags, or dealer emblems and whatnot, and I've added just the single American flag and the correct Ford OEM Police Interceptor. So that Interceptor badge, some people get triggered over it. They're like, oh, well, it says police, you're not supposed to have it because you're not a cop. Well, that is, like I said, a Ford-owned logo or badge. No police agency can claim it. So that's the model of the car. I mean, you could have like the Crown Vic LX or the Crown Vic Sport, and this is the Crown Vic Police Interceptor. So, but I know all the cops in my town, and none of them have given me grief over it at all. I mean, they do, but just playfully, like, oh, you know, it's like Rescue Randy here. It's, you know, just something like that. Nothing like serious. I do have the original plate just covering up mine. That guy threw in his plates. I did do the bumper tuck. So basically you just go up underneath your Crown Vic, take thick zip ties in where they bolt the bottom half of the bumper down. You just zip tie it and pull it really tight, and it pulls it up and makes it look nice. Supposedly helps the fuel economy a little bit, but with the push bar spotlight and all that other jazz on there, only matters that much. So since the last video, you'll notice a lot more paint has shipped. It's that classic Peelformance white paint. I guess we could go ahead and pop the trunk. Got some changes in there. So the last time I didn't have anything in here, or much at all. I definitely didn't have that. So I did find the correct passenger side flare box or evidence box or whatever you want to call these things. They are getting very hard to find. That one came with the car, and I added this one. I used self-tapping screws, and this one was specifically made for this side because of the fuel pump shutoff switch. You can't just throw in one for the passenger side on this side, it won't fit. Still have the ice scraper that he threw in, and the tire with the jack, of course. Still got these reflectors, and I've added the trunk organizer. So this is the Ford Police Trunk Pack. This is something that they designed for Crown Vics, I want to say in the early 2000s, and basically what they're finding is police officers who had sharp objects or long objects stored vertically like this, if they got in a car crash, well, your gas tank is right behind here, and there's not that much room. So they were finding that objects would puncture the gas tank and cause a fire. Well, they designed a trunk organizer like this, where you notice everything is, the compartment is laterally, so you really can't stick long objects like that. I mean, you could, but it's not going to go anywhere. And then they also did have covers for these. You can see the notch for them, like plexiglass covers, but those typically broke off anyways. And then another cool thing about these organizers is that they do have Kevlar in the back. So yeah, I'm really glad I finally have, or I've had this thing for a while now, the organizer, but I'm glad that I got one. I think the next thing that I want to do is get the windows tinted. Well, I should, since winter's coming, I should get the rear defrost fixed finally, but I've yet to do that. And yeah, overall I love this car. It's a little hard to drive in the South Dakota winter. You know, I've definitely found going up this hill is very, very tricky. There was one night where I was going up it. Unfortunately, I lost traction, just slid back into the ditch, not on this side, but on the opposite side, before they started all that construction. So it was a pretty big difference. But yeah. And then somebody pulled me out, so that was nice. And got just lost my train of thought. Oh, but the guy who I bought this from, I never really told that story. And I had bought this from a guy in Wyoming who he bought this from the Campbell County Sheriff's Office when they were auctioning it. He was a dealer, so I'm assuming a lot of the police equipment was left in there for him. At least that's how Crown Victoria Auto ends up getting that stuff, is just because he's a dealer. And bought it from him for $2,500, and came with the car, 2 extra doors. The doors are the door panels are black, so all this is tan interior, so it doesn't do me very good. But I'd like to switch this to black interior. And basically, I work 6 a.m. to 12 at Walmart, and then I got off at 12. Wyoming's, I think he was in Gillette. That's like a 2.5 hour drive away from here. So got off, came home, didn't even get switched out of my work clothes. Took off with my dad to Wyoming, bought the car. Right after the paperwork and money was handed over, he said, "Oh yeah, by the way, the driver front tire goes a little low. I think there's a nail in it." Well, I can't just drive it 2 hours back and just not do anything about it. So we had to take it to the Walmart there. And by now this is probably about 4 in the afternoon. So it's getting kind of late. And then took it to Walmart, got it fixed. And of course, I'm in all my Walmart like clothing and stuff, so everyone's looking at me like they think that I work there, and I'm like, no, I don't work here. I mean, not at this store. And it was about a hour and a half wait, so we hadn't eaten anything, and we decided to go to the deli, got some popcorn chicken. Couldn't find a place to eat it, so while I was in my Walmart clothes, just found where the area where I thought that the break room would be. I walked past the double doors wearing my uniform or Walmart shirt. Some associates were staring at me, and I said, "Hey, I'm kind of new here. Can you point me in the direction where the break room is?" And they said, "Oh, sure, it's right there." And it was just basically right behind me, and I didn't even notice it. But hey, I don't work there. And basically, I set the food down, scoped out the place, brought my dad back there, and I was like, well, I hope nobody asked why we're doing or who we are. But there were a few associates looking at me, but they just didn't think anything of it, I guess, since I had the Walmart shirt. And they have a very nice break room. So if any associates from the Walmart in Gillette is watching this, you guys got a really nice place. They had couches and I think a TV. I know the Walmart that I work at would never have stuff like that. But so yeah, we basically just sat back there in luxury and peace and quiet until the car was ready. And then I wanted to get a center console for this thing, so we had to stop at the Walmart in Spearfish, and basically I didn't get home till like 9 that night, me and my dad. So it was a full day, that's for sure. But it was a fun trip, you know. It's a cool story that I get to tell with this car. Another, which leads me into my next thing, is a year ago today, I bought this car, and today I bought a fire engine. Now, some of you guys may have seen my posts on social media about it. But yeah, guys, so I actually bought it's having the pump taken off. I didn't buy the pump with it. So, I guess it's considered technically a fire truck, but, yeah, guys, I just wrapped up the paperwork and have the title in hand. So a year from buying my very first car, I'm buying my very first fire truck. There's going to be a video on that shortly. But yeah, it's not registered yet, but it's legally mine now, and it's still down in the bay. They think they found a second seller for the pump because I wasn't interested in the pump. It sounds pretty promising, like the dude's gonna buy it, and then, well, regardless, it's got to be pulled out anyways, but it just means that they'd do it a lot faster than previously. So look for an update on that, guys. But yeah, guys, this car has been good to me. I absolutely love it. Now, I know earlier I mentioned that the cops in this town playfully give me grief for it. You know, I am a volunteer fireman, so it's just kind of like a brotherly, like, giving each other shit, you know. But I know this question's gonna pop up, is, have I ever been pulled over in this thing? And the answer is yes. Now, you can get pulled over for doing a lot of things. You could blow a stop sign, you could blow a red light, you could be going 5 under, you could be going 25 under, you could be swerving, texting and driving, on the phone. But you know when you really do not want to be pulled over is when you are trying to top out your car. Yeah. I got caught while I was trying to top this thing out. I was out on a roller road, and I scoped it out a little bit. I thought I was the only one on there. And I go over the hill. Bigger hill. It was okay. Went over the second one, no cars. Went over the third one, no cars. I gunned it. Got up to 117 in a 65. And there's a county sheriff just driving this way towards me. Just me and him on the road, nobody else. So I immediately pull over, because and it took him a while to catch up to me, but I'm like, well, this is over. You know, I could see his push bar, his huge antennas, the light bar, the hideaways, and I'm like, oh, that's a cop. So I pull over, and this is actually a day before I graduated from the tech school that I went to, but he was pretty cool about it. I would say he's definitely it was a very huge slap on the wrist. One of the first few things that he said to me was, you know, I caught you going 117. Well, first he asked me how fast I was traveling, and I said the last time I looked down I was going 115. He's like, yeah, that's about right, because I clocked you at 117. And one of the first few things he said to me after that was, well, do you know traveling 30 over the posted speed limit, that's arrestable offense? And I'm like, oh my god, I was so scared at this point. Like, I wasn't sure what was gonna happen. And but basically I had all my license, registration, everything, holding out the window, both of my hands, before he even pulled up. And you know, of course he gave me the spiel about, oh, you know, I was 19 once too, and I respect that you immediately pulled over. You didn't try to pull anything saying that you were like a cop or something, and you know, you're very respectful, and you know. So he cut the price in half, and it was like a God, I can't even remember how much it was now. I think it was like, I think it was like a $200 ticket, $300, and he said that he cut the price in half. So originally it was supposed to be like $500-600, and I was like, oh my goodness, that is a major slap on the wrist, my fellas. Like, this guy was so cool about it. But yeah, I was totally like, oh my god. And of course after he took my license and registration, he just sat in his car for like a long time, and I'm like, I'm just gonna see like a tow truck pop up, or like a second cop, and I'm like, that'll be it, I'm done. But Didn't happen. That's my only time I've been pulled over into it. That is it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and as always, have a nice day. Look for that fire truck video coming up.